Hey you guys, your email list might be the most valuable asset you have in your photography business. In fact, some of my fastest booking days happen every year because of a single email. But here's something I learned the hard way. Pretty emails don't matter if people never see them. And that realization completely changed how I think about email marketing. In this series, we've been talking about the investments that made the biggest difference in my photography business. First, we talked about Google Ads and how intent-based marketing helped me attract the right clients. Then we talked about HoneyBook and how having organized systems allowed me to manage those inquiries and create a professional client experience. Today, we're talking about the third piece that ties everything together, email marketing. Because email marketing is how I stay connected to my clients and fill my calendar year after year. I honestly can't remember exactly when I first started emailing my clients. Years ago, I used Constant Contact to occasionally send booking announcements or updates, but I wasn't really thinking strategically about email marketing at that point. It was more of a send something out when I remember kind of situation. That changed in 2023 when I switched to Flodesk. Flodesk was beautiful. It was easy to use, and honestly, it made email marketing feel fun. The templates were gorgeous, the workflows were easy to set up, and I loved features like freebie delivery and pop-ups on my website. It made my business feel more polished and professional. And for the first time, I started paying attention to email marketing in a more intentional way. But after a while, two things started happening that made me rethink everything. The first was that I started paying attention to the numbers. I moved beyond pretty and fun and started looking at open rates and asking a simple question. Are people actually seeing my emails? Because numbers don't lie. The second thing had more to do with what was happening across the internet. Email providers started tightening security quite a bit. With the rise of AI and the increase in phishing scams, inbox providers became much more cautious about what emails they allow through. And honestly, I get it. I've actually been phished before and it was a horrible experience, so I completely understand why those protections exist. But it also made me realize something important. If I'm paying premium prices for email marketing software, I don't just want something that looks pretty. I want something that is effective. So I spent about a year running tests on different email marketing platforms. I paid close attention to open rates and deliverability, and throughout that process, I kept hearing about a platform called Kit. I'll be honest, I was hesitant at first because it was more expensive than Flodesk, but eventually the numbers convinced me to give it a try. The moment that really sold me happened last August when I sent out my fall booking email, and not only did my open rate double, but my bookings increased significantly as well. Then it happened again recently when I sent out my spring email booking. I actually sent that email out in a bit of a rush. I had started getting a few inquiries about spring sessions and realized I hadn't officially opened bookings yet, so I quickly sent out an email saying spring bookings are open. Usually I do a full lead up where I send a pre-email telling people to set their alarms because bookings will open at a certain date and time, but this time I didn't do any of that. I literally sent the email the day I was leaving for North Dakota to tour a college with my oldest. While I was traveling, I started seeing bookings come in, and honestly, I was a little overwhelmed because I was on the road. But I also was completely ecstatic. By the time I got home from that 2-day trip, my spring sessions were about 90% sold out. That's when I knew the switch to Kit was absolutely worth it. Now, I'll be the first to say that Kit isn't quite as visually pretty as Flodesk, and it is more expensive. but it's also more effective. And when it comes to something as important as email delivery, effectiveness matters more than aesthetics. Regardless of which email platform you use, there are a few simple things photographers can do to dramatically improve the chances that their emails actually reach the inbox. And these things make a bigger difference than most people realize. The first tip is to keep images to a minimum. Email providers are cautious about emails that contain a lot of images because spam and phishing emails often rely heavily on images. So instead of filling your emails with photos, try keeping it simple. One strong image is usually more than enough, and plain text emails often perform extremely well because they look more like normal communication and less like marketing. The second tip is to limit the number of links in your email. Too many links can signal to email providers that the message may be promotional or unsafe. So I recommend including one primary link that leads to a trusted page on your website. And this might surprise some photographers, but I also avoid linking to social media at the bottom of my emails. If the goal of the email is to get someone to book a session, the last thing I want to do is give them an easy reason to click away from the booking page. Another important step is making sure your email domain is properly authenticated. This includes things like SPF, DKIM, and DMARC. I think it's pronounced DMARC, but I actually don't know. These settings help email providers verify that your emails are legitimate and actually coming from you. Now, I can't really explain how to do that, but most email platforms will guide you through how to set this up. Another simple but powerful strategy is occasionally asking your subscribers to reply to your emails. When people respond to your message, it signals to inbox providers that your emails are part of a real conversation rather than just marketing blasts. Even something as simple as asking a question like, "Are you more interested in spring or fall sessions this year?" can increase engagement and help improve deliverability. It also gives you helpful feedback from your audience. I also make it a habit to clean my email list about once a year. That means removing subscribers who haven't opened emails in a long time. It might feel counterintuitive to remove people from your list, but a smaller list with active readers actually improves your deliverability and makes your email marketing more effective. And my favorite tip is something I don't see many photographers doing. So pay attention. When someone joins your email list, tell them exactly how to add you to their contacts. Email providers trust senders that people have saved. So I give this instruction 3 different times. On the thank you page after someone signs up, in the confirmation email, and again in the automated welcome email they receive after joining my list. This dramatically increases the chances that future emails land in their inbox. I also offer a small incentive for joining my email list. When someone subscribes, they receive $25 off their next full session. It's a simple way to encourage signups and reward the people who stay connected to my business. At the end of the day, your email list is one of the most valuable assets in your photography business. Social media platforms change, algorithms change, but your email list is something you actually own. Emails are gold, so treat them that way. In this series, we talked about 3 investments that completely changed the trajectory of my photography business. Google Ads helped me attract the right clients. HoneyBooked helped me organize my systems and create a professional client experience. And email marketing helps me stay connected to my audience and consistently fills my calendar year after year. If this kind of content is helpful for you as you grow your photography business, consider subscribing, because I share new videos every week about building a profitable photography business and creating systems that make running your business simpler and more sustainable. Thank you so much for joining me today and in this series. I'm so happy you're here.